Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
West Palm, it's CCAT here. You want to know my secret to losing weight fast? I lost 17 pounds in 28 days with Metrum MD in Palm Beach Gardens. It's not a one-size-fits-all plan. It's medical weight loss tailored just for you by a team of experts. They're busy because they're the best, and the results are real. I'm living proof. With their guidance, I'm losing weight fast, staying motivated, and feeling unstoppable. Ready to transform your life? Visit Metrum MD in Palm Beach Gardens or go to MetrumMD.com. That's M-E-T, the word trim, MD.com.
Good people, it's Theo Dorsey. Spring training at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is less than a month away. Mini plans are the best way to maximize your St. Louis Cardinals and Miami Marlins game day experiences. Packages start at just $75 and can be customized for the games that you want. Get access to premium games like Cardinals versus Yankees on March 9th or Marlins Red Sox on March 14th. Purchase your mini plans at the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Hi, Kevin Dalton here from the Unlimited Auto Wash. Enjoy unlimited inside and out hand washes for just $49.95 per month, less than the price of 2 washes. You'll get unlimited hand washes with sealer wax, dash, windows and vacuum, tire shined, and hand finished. All unlimited. Not a member? Stop and get a quick wash anytime at great prices. And during January and February, if you join our club, you'll only pay $25 a month for the first 2 months and then $49.95 thereafter. Visit us at unlimitedAutoWashClub.com or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Oh boy, the Cowboys are in some trouble because now the star in the owner's box feels like he's bigger than the star on the side of the helmet.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Today is Tuesday, January 28th. It is a tasty Tuesday. Here on Theoretically Speaking.
Coined that term.
Yeah, I'm the first person to ever say that, by the way. A tasty Tuesday. You like that? It's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
We're going with that. Tasty Tuesday here, and we got a delectable topic to jump right in on. Egos and the Cowboys. Egos and the Eagles. Oh, man. This guy's really spitting today. I'm Theo Dorsey. On the other side of the glass is CCAT on the ones and the twos. And while today, right here in this moment, I'm having a genuine, honest, open conversation with you. Literally less than 24 hours ago, I had a great conversation with one of my childhood heroes. So
who was that?
This is that's the thing. I don't like to brag or anything. You might not even have heard of the guy.
Okay.
He's personally a childhood hero to me.
Try me. Who did you have a conversation with?
So there are so many legends of different sports. This sport is more of a niche sport, so I'm not sure if you frequented it. Pretty much you're hitting the ball with a stick trying to put it in a hole. They call it golf. And
pretty big around here.
It is. It's solid. It's solid. It definitely moves some needles. And there was this guy, me growing up, this guy that kind of encapsulated my household. It was personal for us seeing a guy like him dominate at the level he was dominating at. Not sure how much it hit the rest of America, but Tiger Woods.
Oh.
Tiger Woods, he's a resident of Palm Beach County.
Of course.
He helped with Rory McIlroy, started this niche little thing called TGL, which is out here usually on Tuesdays. Last night it was on a Monday. And TGL, a spectacular show last night, the Jupiter Lynx versus the Boston, what do they call themselves, like the Boston good old golf team? Regular golf team? What is it again?
Boston Commons.
The Commons. Why Commons? Like the coffee grounds or something?
I do not know. But
I was trying to figure that out.
A lot of Boston people representing for their Boston team because it was owned by the Fenway Sports Group.
That's right. So they got a lot of love in there. David Ortiz was on the broadcast last night for TGL, if you watched it on ESPN. And after the match, as the Jupiter Lynx won the first ever overtime thriller, in TGL, the Jupiter Lynx first victory. Of course, my guy Tom Kim was showing out. But Tiger Woods, the star of the show, he came down to the media, and he and I, sparked off a conversation about the match, and that was real cool.
Nice.
And he talked with the rest of the media afterwards. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not too big for, theoretically speaking, I'm not too big for UC Cat. I have conversations with Tiger Woods one night, and the next day I'm talking to you.
Well, I appreciate that, actually.
And I know that a lot of people here at the station tried to belittle my conversation. They tried to say that our back and forth, two guys, two bros speaking to one another, because it was in a group setting, they called it a press conference. They called it an interview. They called it a question and answer. No, it's a conversation. Conversation is when two people speak to one another, and that's what I and Tiger did last night. So shout out to him getting his first win, and shout out to you all that were able to enjoy the show. I'm hoping that TGL continues to pick up. That was the greatest of all of the TGLs we've had. That was easily the best.
Yeah.
It came down to a closest to the pin overtime, and I just was curious with Tiger. I'm like, yo, he didn't even get to go and compete in it. He was supposed to go up against Rory, and he never got a shot to do it. But he's an egoless man, Tiger is. He said he didn't care about not facing Rory, not getting that last chance to step up to the tee and win the closest to the pin to win it for the Jupiter Links. He was just glad to get the victory. And that's the thing. When you're able to take ego out of it, you're able to succeed at levels that many people that have too much ego don't understand.
It was a fun watch last night. I was jumping off my couch.
Yeah.
I was raising the roof in the Cat residence for Tom Kim, Tiger Woods, and Kevin Kisner.
Were you rooting for Jupiter Links?
Of course. That's my squad.
Okay.
That's our team.
I'm just making sure. I know I'm a Jupiter Links fan, and my wife is actually with the LA squad. She likes their branding. She's very artsy. So we're a divided household in TGL. But you and I, Jupiter Links guys.
Well, we do have clarification on what the Boston Commons team name means.
Okay, talk to me.
It comes from the original use as a common land for grazing livestock from Puritan colonists in 1634. There used to be an area called the Boston Commons.
Okay, so they used to breed livestock in Boston.
Graze.
Graze.
That's where the livestock would graze, the commons.
The commons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
It was from 1634 up until, I don't know, guesstimating 1830.
I like that, man. You know, preserving history there. We got to preserve history. We got to do a better job of that, even here in the state of Florida. Let's keep history alive. Let's not eradicate it from history books. Teach it to the kids. Boston has a grazing ground for animals. And also a lot of things happened here.
You know what's ancient history? When the Cowboys were actually relevant.
Oh, my goodness.
For what they do on the field.
That's a lie. I was about to say. That the problem is what you just said was a lie, because what the Cowboys do on the field has not been majorly impactful unless it's them spilling egg on their face. But what the Cowboys do off the field has been on front stage for the entirety of my livelihood. Though they haven't won a Super Bowl, they haven't made an NFC championship while I have been breathing and cognizant. Shout out to Cognizant Classic, by the way. The Cowboys, for some odd reason, are always on our TV screens. And right now, as I look at our Prize Pick stream on YouTube, again, at ESPN West Palm, tap into the stream and see your boys live, I see an image of Jerry Jones and whoever the hell that guy is next to him.
Now, Brian.
Yeah, he's not Brian anymore. He's not Brian Schottenheimer. He is the Dallas Cowboys head coach, because Jerry Jones, who, again, congratulations. He loves to applaud himself about how he took that big risk back in the day and bought the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones says Brian Schottenheimer dropped the first name and has become the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He was not a heralded candidate. He was not a household name for what he has done before in the league, more so what his family has done. But now Brian Schottenheimer has one of the top 3 coveted jobs in all of sports.
Yeah, that brand, that exposure, yeah. You've got the bright lights on you.
Yeah, I like that. I'm happy for him. And for him, for his sake, I hope he's successful. I hope that team proves him right. But what I can tell you, based on everything I've seen from the Cowboys over the past couple of decades, based on specifically what it's looked like over the past 4 or 5 years, there's one deterrent to their success that I don't believe is ever going to wither. It's only going to continue to get stronger and stronger as he continues to try to prove himself right. And that's the man sitting right up there next to him at the introductory press conference, Jerry Jones. You know what's funny about him having an introductory press conference, Brian Schottenheimer? For some reason, no matter where you turn, including today on this programming, I don't hear from Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah, and all the clips are not of him.
Nothing. I still don't even know what the dude talks like. If you told me
we're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
If you told me that was Brian Schottenheimer, I would have to agree with you. Except I know that was Aaron Glenn from the Jets press conference, because guess who's not speaking the whole damn time?
Brian Schottenheimer.
Brian Schottenheimer. So, because all the Cowboys fed us was Jerry Jones quotes, let's get to the crux of the issue here, because, again, our guy Noah Carbone, he is an Eagles fan. All right, he's stuck with us here on Theoretically Speaking. This same ailment that is hurting the Cowboys right now, a three-letter word, ego, is the same thing that could creep in and infiltrate what the Eagles have going on right now between that head coach, between that wide receiver, and especially the quarterback with all the diamonds on his chains, Jalen Hurts. Ego is the issue for the Cowboys. And that is what is striking Jerry Jones specifically right now and getting in his way of being a competent franchise. Take a listen to Jerry Jones it feels like he's hedging his bets here, because he knows the hire he made is not one that would be applauded or celebrated, but he almost wants to let us know that he also is aware that this is a risky hire. Take a listen to him.
Now, I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone without this thing being about me in any way.
Oh no.
If you don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so it's back about him.
This is as big a risk as you could take. As big a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience.
All right.
That is...
That's a crazy thing to say about a guy right next to you.
That's like him saying, without making this about myself at all, and then making this about yourself. That's like saying, no offense, but you are ugly. Just by prefacing it by the impact of what I'm about to say is not intended that way. Well, it is, so too bad.
To be honest with you, it makes it even worse, right? Because he's saying that the hire he's making is a risk, and he's also in that same breath saying it has nothing to do with me. So what is he really telling us? He's telling us that this candidate that he's selecting, that is sitting right next to him, that he's supposed to be selling to his fan base and selling to the national media and selling to his own locker room, he's saying, I've done my job properly and correctly. I have been the most risk-adverse person. That's what he said earlier in the press conference. I never take risk, only the last 5 years. This dude right next to me with no experience is so damn risky, though, that I have to make sure I express that to y'all before he goes out here and wins 7 football games. That's what it feels like to me. This has nothing to do with Jerry Jones. It has everything to do with Brian Schottenheimer. That dude's a risk. How is that possibly instilling confidence? Or even if you were trying to go on the other side of the foot and say he's trying to challenge him to get the best out of him, how is that possibly productive? There's nothing good that comes from this. The Cowboys, the radio, the clown show that is the Cowboys and it has been for the past 20 years is only being perpetuated and hurt and driven in by one man, and that's Jerry Jones. And I was hoping he would finally take a step back and just get out of the way for a second. But then the introductory press, I thought that's what the Schottenheimer hire was. I'm like, okay, cool. He didn't go for the splash hire. He didn't go get Dion. He didn't keep the circus going. He went and got Schottenheimer. He's taking a bit of a chance on the guy. Sure, we all knew that. But for him to sit next to the dude and tell us that, I just don't get how that's productive.
Exactly. And it wasn't making it about himself until he opened his mouth, which we knew was going to happen. It's Jerry Jones at the Cowboys, the press conference with him. We know we were going to get sound bites out of this no matter what, and we knew who they were going to come from. And like you said, Schottenheimer isn't the big name, isn't the big splash.
Yeah.
So he immediately tried to make it one by saying, just so everybody knows, biggest risk ever. You got your headline right here.
Who is he covering right there? Because one could argue, Noah says in the Prize Picks chat here on YouTube, one could argue him prefacing his career by saying this is the biggest risk ever, it does lower the bar for where we expect Brian Schottenheimer to clear. But also, I can't tell if Jerry Jones is doing this to help Schottenheimer or to help himself in case this fails. Because it really protects both of them if you think about it.
Well, if I think about it, you don't blame the crappy tools the person bought. You blame the person who bought the crappy tools.
Right.
So, like, Jerry, this feels like more reason to blame Jerry if things go wrong. Like, why did you take this risk if you knew how low the floor was?
That's a good point. But we do know that when things go wrong with the Cowboys, Jerry Jones never finds himself culpable. There's a reason why he's still calling the shots, even though the shots keep on firing off the edge of the backboard. I don't understand it, but he's in charge. He owns the team. That's the blessing and the curse of your general manager, quote unquote, also owning the team is one band, one sound. But what if the sound sucks?
Yeah.
That's the problem with the Cowboys is like they have the continuity from top down, but he's not as good. He's not as sharp. Can we play? Jordan Schultz tweeted out a clip from Jerry Jones's presser. I just sent it over to you. You probably haven't seen it. Can you play this part? Because this is what I mean by more so, even if Jerry Jones was elite at this, as he keeps reminding us, the biggest risk he ever took in his life was buying the Dallas Cowboys. And he is fortified in all of his decisions going forward because he took that risk and he was right. So, of course, that's where the ego builds up. The ego builds up, and now the pride comes before the fall because this guy is so full of himself because of that one purchase and a couple of smart moves that led to championships that now he is using that stuff that happened decades ago to remind us and also to give him himself a coat for the things he's doing today. So listen to him now because you might have been smart. You might have had your wits back then, but Jerry Jones, you're a little longer in the tooth now, and you're starting to sound like it.
So I've seen it when I was a pup.
Hello?
I have a good background in the makeup of what a coach is. To think that you could make a decision in an interview and not have talked, if you didn't and hadn't ever communicated or had a visit.
What?
I wouldn't dare have had an interview unless I talked to many, many people.
Yeah. That's the leader of the Cowboys. Yeah, when you were a pup, you might have been great at these things. You might not have your fastball anymore, Jerry.
Your faculty's about you.
It's not happening.
We're seeing deterioration in live action, and it's kind of damaging.
And it's not even he's 82. He's 82 years old. I mean, I get it. I mean, how old is our current president? Donald Trump is what, 70, 78, 79? Like
maybe 74. Might be around there.
78.
Oh, I was wrong.
I know. They're all old. I mean, nothing against people that are elderly. Nothing against. I'm just saying the studies show scientifically. And the previous president, what was it, Joe Biden? He was, how old? 76, 75. All of these old dudes thinking they still got their fastball. Surround yourself with some people that still got it all, you know, all the facilities up here. Jerry, what are we doing? Even if he's not smart enough to realize he doesn't have it all the way up here, at least take a look at the results. Did you see the stuff that Stephen Jones was saying as well, where they talked about how people are, quote unquote, calling it a drought? It is a drought.
Yeah, especially when you see that you are the only team that has not been to the NFC Championship game.
Yes.
In a long time. Since when?
Since 2000. Well, literally since the Cowboys last was in it, which was, again, before we were born. But that's a drought. That's a drought. For the biggest brand in the sport, that's a drought. We have to at least agree with that. Like, you're America's team. You are the cream of the crop. That brand, that star on the side of the helmet, it reigns supreme. As great as the Chiefs are today, and I'm sure that brand is starting to catch up, especially because of the Taylor Swift effect, the Cowboys brand is greater. And I can't, for the life of me, understand how you can look at the lack of success, especially when it comes to even making it to the Final Four. Think about this, C-Cat. Patrick Mahomes entered the league, and the second he became a starting quarterback, he made the Final Four every single year. 7 straight years. Final Four, Final Four, Final Four, Final Four.
How hard could it be?
I know he's the anomaly.
It's like when the Vegas Golden Knights entered the NHL and all of a sudden they're in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Right there at the end. And you're telling me that for 30 years you have not been able to make it there to that stage in the weaker conference? It's not even like you got to face Patrick Mahomes to get there. We can joke about it. We can blame people left and right in the AFC because Justin Herbert hasn't done it. Josh Allen only done it 2 times. Lamar Jackson made it once. We clown these guys because they just made it and couldn't get past the Mahomes hump. This dude can't get past Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. Like, of course, I don't give a damn if the Cowboys are good or not. I just would hope, at least for the sake of our fans and the Cowboys fans like Jupiter Joe and the ones that care so deeply about the success of this franchise. Again, I'm from Texas. I'm from Houston, so I do sometimes chuckle at the demise of Dallas sports teams. But for my brethren, wake up and realize you got an 82-year-old dude still thinking he's got his fastball, still making excuses, still living on the successes of his 30, 40-year-ago decisions. And I believe he just made another poor one right here. In a little bit, we're going to have Mike Tannenbaum in. He helped lead the search for the new head coach of the Jets, new general manager of the Jets as well.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
Aaron Glenn, right? A former Jet, a guy that, I mean, that's some energy right there. At the very least, just some energy. Now, the delivery was a little whack, but I like it. And it's going to come back to bite them when they get their tails kicked. But
we're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
They're built for that. They're built to get their ass kicked, too.
Get used to that. Just everyone listening or watching, get used to hearing that exact phrase.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
You know who we don't have a hotkey for? Brian Schottenheimer. Because nothing he says matters because Jerry Jones overtalked him. Ego's the biggest detriment to the Cowboys' success going forward. Ego and age, and it's all coming from one man, Jerry Jones. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. That's the number for Theoretically Speaking. That is the Baptist Health Hotline. What is the biggest detriment to success in the NFL? Not just for the Cowboys, but for any team. It's ego to me, and it's really striking the Cowboys, and I'm about to get to why it also is going to be ailing the Eagles later on in the show because I see it sparking up. I see it rearing its ugly head when it comes to those dirty birds.
The waves are cresting in the distance. It's
Oh,
getting
man.
choppy in these waters. That tidal wave, it's coming.
It's a-coming. And duck for cover if you're an Eagles fan because I hate to do this to y'all. I know it's a joyous momentum day. You had a 55-22 win or whatever over your rival, but hey, something around the corner I want to warn you about. Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. That is the number to tap into Theoretically Speaking. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle, orthopedic surgeons, and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. CCAT, I saw the line light up, and I feel like I didn't even have to ask you who it is on the other side. Is that Joe from Jupiter?
Of course, our
Joe.
resident Dallas sports fan.
Joe is in Jupiter. Joe, you're on Theoretically Speaking on a tasty Tuesday. How would you describe the taste of the Brian Schottenheimer hire and the Jerry Jones press conference?
First of all, thank you for calling me out and giving sympathy for me as one of your most diehard Cowboy fans on the show.
Yeah.
That was very, very thoughtful of you. I appreciate that.
I got you.
I will say, I knew who Brian Schottenheimer was. You know, son of the great Marty Schottenheimer. You know, he's got some Chiefs history, a couple Super Bowls. Yes, he's never been a head coach, but he's got 25 years of experience with a lot of other great head coaches. And until I heard him speak yesterday, and I did listen to that 46 or 47-minute press conference from a radio station out of Dallas. They played every second of it. I had never really heard him speak before either. But this guy sounds pretty sharp. I don't know what's going to happen. We never know. But I feel a lot better today than I did after I heard his press conference. I knew he was hired from, last Friday night, and I knew all that, and I've done a lot of research. But then hearing him talk, and the most impressive thing, I know y'all did some highlights of the press conference that were really silly and ridiculous.
Yeah.
The wrist stuff. Jerry Jones did say some things that make sense. And what usually happens on these press conferences, they'll start off the press conference, Jerry or Steven. They gave Brian the first 8 or 9 minutes, which nobody thought that was. We were all assuming we're going to have to listen to Jerry talk for 15 minutes, and then eventually they might get Brian in there. But they let him lead off the press conference and tell us about himself, his background.
Yeah.
There was some tears shed. It just seemed pretty emotional. So I know we don't know much about him, but when you hear him talk, it gives me it sounds pretty positive. Here we go again. Set myself up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Not even February yet. Here we go.
Yeah, I was about to say it's good to get you. It's good to get you back though. It's good that he won you back over. He won your heart. But isn't that the worst possible thing? that they start to win your heart again, because now you're setting yourself up for the utter disappointment that's right around the corner. We just saw the Commanders make the NFC Championship game. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl. At best, you're the third best team walking in the next year with a rookie head coach and a $60 million quarterback.
Yeah, we got a tall hill to climb, sure, absolutely, with what we're facing right now.
Yeah, Joe.
But,
I'm sorry about
Zach
that.
loves him. He loves Zach. He loves his players. The players love him. That's what counts first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then X's and O's, shifting, play calling in the modern times instead of the way McCarthy was doing it. He's all about all that.
I ain't gonna lie though, it ain't gonna make much of an impact. As long as that star's on that helmet, Joe, I'm a little bit down on those Cowboys. I appreciate the call. I appreciate you tapping in. I hope you feel better, but nah, man, I'm out.
You know, in
Jerry Jones.
kind of all lines of work, when the hiring manager who is in the situation is Jerry Jones, he's the owner and he's the hiring manager. If they take a big risk and take a big chance on you, isn't the hiring manager always felt to be owed something from that person hired?
Yes. Oh, you just brought up a great point, C-Cat. That was, number one, that was a huge power move for him, not only to tell him he's a risk, but tell all of America that he's a risk. The point you just made, and I don't know if you made it inadvertently, if Jerry Jones is the owner and the hiring manager, there's no risk. There's literally no risk.
Yeah.
His job isn't on the line. His job is his life. The only way he loses his job is if he loses his life. He owns the damn team. So really, it is one of the most disgusting power plays I can think of to call a guy a risk when you're not actually taking a real risk.
It's going to make his radio hits on the local Dallas sports station a little bit more difficult if we're not winning. That's what he's risking, because the money's still pouring in.
What? He's not even risking that because he already called.
He already said we'll take
shot.
somebody else to do his.
He called his shot. Yeah, you're right. Those guys' job is at a risk if they come at him, apparently. This dude is maniacal.
But what I'm saying
like a
is
dictator.
He prefaced that. Well, I'm going to play the soundbite again, and I'll explain to you why this kind of is very convoluted and incorrect is what he's saying.
Now, I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone. Without this thing being about me in any way, if you don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable. This is as big a risk as you could take, as big a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience.
Because no one else was going to hire Brian Schottenheimer. He was not on any list for any other team. You wouldn't see him in any sports book.
Yeah.
No, Brian Schottenheimer is a head coach in the National Football League because Jerry Jones wanted him to be a head coach in the National Football League.
Yeah.
So he's automatically in the comfort zone of Jerry Jones, where a head coach and the owner, the power dynamic is very clear. The leverage that the head coach has is very little. The leverage that the owner has is very high.
Yes.
The puppet. Like, that's the cliche and the reputation of that Cowboys head coaching job of being a puppet of Jerry Jones. It has been set up on day one with that exact press conference, by saying this is a massive risk, which is saying you should be lucky.
Yes, you're dangling him over the fire. It's actually kind of sick. And if you're Schottenheimer, you have to take the job. Like, you're not saying no to the job. But when the person that hired you is also the owner of the company and also continues to remind you that he's the one that got you that job and it was a big risk, that would be as if like the day after I earned, theoretically speaking, with you here, C-Cat, at ESPN 106.3, if like our CEO, Craig Carmazin, was like, yeah, it's the biggest risk I've ever taken in my life. Nobody was going to hire this guy. He was never going to have a Sports Talk radio show. These two knuckleheads right here, biggest risk I ever took in my life. Good luck.
They should get on their knees and thank me every day. Now, thank God. Thank me every day that they get to walk into ESPN West Palm.
Maybe that's why you laugh so hard at Craig's jokes.
Maybe I'm the biggest risk this company's ever taken.
Craig came for a session with the team here, and C-Cat is like folding over laughing.
He just
one line
tickles the funny bone. Somehow knows my humor.
I will say to you, and we got to go to break. We got Mike Tannenbaum on the other side. He's going to grade head coaching hires with us. Craig I had a conversation with Craig yesterday, similar to my conversation with Tiger Woods yesterday, just talking to bosses. And in our conversation, again, Craig Karmazin, CEO of Good Karma Brands, he told me about a speech he just delivered, and he said that after the speech he delivered was, happened in this room, people were coming up to him afterwards and saying he should be a stand-up comedian. And I really, C-Cat, I promise you I had to hold back because I really wanted to ask him, was C-Cat in that room?
I was not. No. I was not.
Was C-Cat one of the people in the room that said that? Because
No, I was behind him holding the sign of applause like we're at Jimmy Fallon late night, saying, this is your cue, audience.
So Craig, just like you believe Craig should be a stand-up comedian, Craig Karma's in himself, CEO of Good Karma Brands, he also believes he should be a stand-up comedian as well. So you're not alone.
How about that?
You're not alone. You, Craig, and his mom. On the other side, Mike Tannenbaum joins us again, former GM of the Jets, former VP of football operations for the Miami Dolphins, breaking down the head coaching hirings across the league, including Jerry Jones's hire of, let me read the papers, the Dallas Cowboys head football coach. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift with endless possibilities. Give a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach. Breakers gift cards let you treat the one who matters most to the things they love the most, like irresistible oceanfront getaways, lessons at the Breakers' new golf and racket club, pampering at the exquisite spa, and shopping at the resort's stylish collection of on- and off-site boutiques. Gift cards may also be used for dining at the Breakers' renowned restaurants and bars, including Echo, Henry's Palm Beach, HMF, and Flagler's Steakhouse. What's even better, for a limited time, when you purchase a $500 gift card online at thebreakers.com, you'll receive an additional $50 on that card, compliments of the Breakers. This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach and remind them why they fell in love with you in the first place. Visit thebreakers.com today.
Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Theo here, and for me, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing is my go-to, and it should be yours too. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure your air and water flow perfectly. EDS is a train comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Go to edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com. When comfort matters, EDS is yes.
Hey everyone, it's Cade Shumslin. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be rewarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm, Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
South Florida's one and only PGA Tour event returns to the Champion Course at PGA National, February 26th through March 2nd. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches will deliver a best-in-class on-site experience featuring a variety of fan amenities alongside the premier competition. Kids 15 and under are admitted free with a ticketed adult. This can't-miss event is right around the corner. Buy your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
God knows. I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
He is at the Senior Bowl, the Reese's Senior Bowl, that is. He is the former Jets GM, former VP of football operations for the Miami Dolphins. Mike Tannenbaum joining us from the road today. Mike T, welcome to the show on this Tasty Tuesday. How's the eats? How are the eats around the Senior Bowl? Nice restaurants around where you're at?
Yeah, lots of barbecue and seafood. So, that's job number 2, I guess, or not number 1, and then scouting's job number 2, right?
Yeah. So while you're out there at the Senior Bowl, what do you actually kind of have an eye on? Are you feeding some intel to the Jets? Is this just all for your takes on Get Up and Theoretically Speaking? Like, what's your angle there?
So ESPN will be broadcasting live tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll be on ESPNU, ESPN2. We have 4 practices, and it's a great tradition. Last year there were 10 first-round picks that were selected here. It's really like the first part of the draft process.
Who was it out in Mobile last year that popped to you where you said, hey, he might not go early round, but he's going to be a star, and then he proved you right? Because I know every year there's guys that really raised their draft stock out there at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, Michael Penix I thought was great here in the practices and games. And, we got Riley Leonard here, Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart. There's some really interesting quarterbacks here that could really help themselves with a great week of practice.
Mike Tannenbaum reporting to us from the Senior Bowl here on Theoretically Speaking. And I do like those names you just mentioned. I'm curious about who has popped here early. I saw somebody tweet an Xavier Restrepo route, Miami wide receiver. Yep. It's got me excited. How's he looked? Is he one of the stars early on?
Yeah, today's first day of practice, but he moves well, can catch it. Look, he's the all-time University of Miami receiver for a reason, and he's going to have a great career, and I'm sure he'll do well this week.
Mike, I always hear these stories from the Combine, obviously a couple months away from that, about off-the-field observations that scouts, GMs observe. Is there any opportunity like that at the Senior Bowl, just kind of see how a guy is off the field, how he carries himself?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and the coaches this week will get, an inside peek of, the classrooms and things like that. So it's a big part of the process, a meaningful part of the process. So, the more time you're around the players, the better.
Mike Tannenbaum joining us here on Theoretically Speaking from the Senior Bowl. I just joined the Fantasy Football Dynasty League last year. This year I have the number 3 pick in my draft. So I'm glad you're at the Senior Bowl. I didn't have to go myself. I'll just ask you directly for information. I'm curious to you, are there any guys there that I can get deep into my draft, deep in the league? Like, I want one of those running backs nobody's heard of yet so I could beat everybody out.
Yeah, so there'll be a few here. There's a lot of good running backs this year. Devin Neal, R.J. Harvey, amongst others. It's a really, really good draft for running backs.
Yeah, you got Cam Scatterbull out there that was balling out in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
I won't be able to get my hands on Ashton Genty. People are selfish atop. I've already scouted out the draft. Everybody wants him. Is it that much of a gap you feel like early on? I know you have a lot more work to do with the draft, but is he that much better than the rest of the running back prospects this year?
Really, really good, but there's so many running backs that, I'm sure Genty will go in the first round, maybe Scatterbull, but there's so many good running backs this year that you can find one in the later rounds as well.
Yeah, Mike, and we see the revival of the game-changing running back that you can kind of plan a lot of your offense around this season, seeing Derrick Henry, not in his prime, still produce as if he is a prime running back. Obviously, Saquon Barkley within shooting distance of that record. Will we see that reverberate in this year's draft, maybe using picks higher up on running backs despite the heavy supply of them?
I think so. I think there'll be more premium free agency, too, because you see the success, be it Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, and obviously, the transcendent year that Barkley's having. I think teams will see that, running the ball, is big. There's a lot of ways you can win the game, but having a great running game is a big part of it.
All right, Mike. See, I didn't want to do this today, but I'm not pounding my chest or anything. But when I made my Super Bowl pick here and I said Chiefs-Eagles, you laughed at me. You laughed at me. C-Cat ridiculed me for it. I've been getting teased around the office. I was right, man. I had a good feel for it. Can you give me a little credit for that one?
Yeah, I was totally wrong. I went with the 2 road teams, and it was the 2 home teams, and Theo, no surprise that you dominated. So I can't wait to hear who you have predicting me winning the Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? By next week, I'll come up with a more confident pick for that. What do you think was the storyline, though, coming out of the Eagles-Commanders game? I know that we're so impressed with the Eagles, and I know you got to get back to the Senior Bowl, so this will be the last one here. But for the Commanders, Jaden Daniels still looked good. He didn't get outplayed. There was a lot of fumbles, a lot of turnovers. You still got to feel super positive going into this offseason if you're a Washington fan, right?
Yeah, I think if you go back a week ago, guys, you would say Detroit was better than Washington. The turnovers were the difference. And I think this week you would say Philly was definitely a better team than Washington, and the turnovers just exacerbated that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the tune of a blowout. But we have our Super Bowl matchup. We also have our guy Mike T at the Senior Bowl. So we'll let you get back to the scouting. We'll get back to the talking sports. We appreciate you making some time for us.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
That was Mike Tannenbaum, again, our guy here on Tuesdays, former GM of the Jets, ESPN NFL insider, and of course his appearances here on Theoretically Speaking, always brought to you by Eisner Amper. I want to see. I'm really good next week. I'm really going to pick his brain about some of these guys, man. I'm curious. The Senior Bowl is one of those underrated events that does not get the same amount of hype from casual NFL fans and stuff. I'm not sure if it's a time of year thing or if it's just because in the past, guys that used to go to the Senior Bowl weren't the kind of guys you were drafting high up. But nowadays, there's more kids and athletes that play in it. And also, you're hearing more and more stories about people that rise up the draft boards in it. Like, I wonder if that's where Michael Penix Jr. actually did make the kind of waves in which the Falcons said, though we're going to go get Kirk Cousins, we're going to get him at 8 and dismiss a lot of other needs that we have on this team.
Yeah, I think so. And it pays to stay in college now, not just in an intelligence or a life after football way. NIL has made it profitable to stay in college another year, not because of a better rookie contract, because you're getting paid in school, which is why a lot of eyebrows were raised when Quinn Ewers said, you know what, I'm good with my college resume. I'm hitting to the NFL, where it was really a coin flip, and a lot of people probably were thinking he should stay another year, transfer somewhere else.
Well, I do wonder if for Quinn Ewers, would he have stayed another year in college if it meant he could also stay at Texas and there wasn't an Arch Manning behind him? I get what you're saying, and I get what the rest of the nation was saying, but, like, there's a certain level of comfortability he had in Austin. Texas was the school he wanted to be at in general, so he might have gotten offers from other places and was like, I kind of don't want to go to Eugene, Oregon.
That's true.
I kind of don't want to go to Miami. Like, I liked it here.
A whole pit stop of a full year somewhere else that you got to
a new coach,
learn a new coach, learn a new quarterback coach, learn a new coordinator, learn a new offense, learn a new way of living, a whole new college town.
You might have had it set up in Texas. You had to have.
Just to lose one of your prime years at quarterback.
Yeah.
To the NFL when he could maybe get drafted later into a better situation where a team that finished kind of good last season, maybe an older quarterback. I'm talking about the Rams possibly. I don't know.
But that's what I feel like is that gets lost in the sauce here. Like, Cam Ward came back. He had a 6th round draft grade, right? Coming out of Washington State. Of course he came back to go live in Miami and improve his draft stock, and it worked out, right? For Quinn Ewers, he could have come back, and especially because this year's quarterback class is so weak, like that number 3 spot is up for grabs. He can do enough between the Senior Bowl and the draft combine to improve his stock. Imagine if Quinn Ewers went back to college this past year, and instead of him getting better and showing people that they should take a risk on him, he pulls a DJ Uiagalelei, right?
Ooh.
Like, you don't want that. You don't want a Spencer Rattler. Like, you don't want to come back and only plummet your draft stock in what I assume to be a better quarterback draft class next year, just based on how low of a dip we're taking this year. So I think it's a smart move by Quinn Ewers, and I think for sure for me, if I was given the option, if I was in Quinn Ewers' shoes and I was given the option of staying at a Texas for $5 million a year or going to the NFL, I stay at Texas. If it's go somewhere else and try to reprove myself with higher expectations to a new fan base, NFL might be the better option there.
But $8 million is reportedly one of the transfer offers he got. If he enter the portal, went to another school for a full year, so where it's not just an investment, it's also actually paying off.
All money ain't good money, though, man. You know, like, as in, like, he could go there, take that $8 million and tank his own draft stock. And also, you don't know, those NIL deals, it's been a little faulty. Like, they could say $8 million and how much are you really getting?
That's true.
So
like maybe there are there incentives in these contracts?
I don't know. See, they're all so murky, and it's not like all of them are public knowledge. It's not like you have to put them out there like NFL contracts. So, again, they can report $8 million. It's easy for them to report $8 million, and in reality, maybe it's $6 million with incentives built in, or maybe it's $6 million, but half of this gets taxed, and it could just not look as good. Where he's like, I could go get this year. If he's able to get drafted in the first 2 rounds, he can secure himself 4 years in the NFL at a solid rate. And hell, over these next couple of months, if he does become that late riser, I don't remember what people thought of Michael Penix Jr. following the national championship game, but I don't recall him being a guy that was considered a top 10 pick. He was like a second, third round grade guy until we got to the NFL draft. That's why we all freaked out when they picked him at 8.
Yeah, you're right.
If he could pull a Michael Penix, a Bo Nix, and move from second, third round to the first round in this weak quarterback class, if he could be the third best quarterback and have a team take a risk on him, way better than a $8 million quote-unquote deal to go play in, Nebraska. I know it wasn't Nebraska, but you're saying.
You also oftentimes see more cases of climbing up the draft boards than tumbling when you're a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the quarterbacks that tumbled? What, did Tebow tumble? Did Lamar kind of
I like
tumble?
that alliteration. Lamar kind of stayed stagnant.
Will Levis climbed up and then on actual draft night tumbled.
Yeah, which makes you wonder, did he ever really climb up? Or was that just like the Mel Kipers of the world,
Yeah, with Jinx Yomi Soto, I was going to say, just that
No
guy's
Kipers.
words mean so much that if he says you're going to be a first-round pick, you just believe it.
Right, and then the NFL GMs might have never really assumed he was going to be a first-round pick. You just never know. You absolutely never know with these things. But what I do know is Quinn Ewers made the right move. Cam Ward also made the right move. Both of them different. Both of them likely going to work out in a strong way as they both now come out in the same draft class. We need to get to a get-around on the other side here on Theoretically Speaking. It is a tasty Tuesday. A tasty Tuesday. What?
Trying to make a noise. Like that was an That was a delicious.
Wow, that was terrible. You should never do a food commercial.
I'm trying to make another sound that indicates tasty.
Okay, don't do that. That. I don't know. That didn't feel good. I didn't like how that sounded.
That was a pastor in Alabama.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I didn't. Something about that didn't feel good. Don't stop that.
That's just a satisfied customer at
That's
your local
not a
food
satisfied
truck.
customer. What movies have you been watching? What the hell? Where are you getting that from?
I don't know. That came from within. I think there's something deep down inside there.
You do better at Southern accents than Northern accents, which is weird. I think
Miss Mayberry.
You were meant to be a Southern man. I think you just were born in the wrong place.
I think so. There's a component of that.
You're a Southern dude. You look like well, I guess not really because you wear the Hawaiian shirts and stuff. But you strike me more as a Southern guy than a guy from New York.
Yeah, I think if you were having to go on the spectrum,
Yeah.
I'm closer to Southern. Listen to country music a lot when I was growing up.
You like country music.
I liked, and now I do like it. I don't actively listen to it anymore, but I do like it.
What?
Listen, when you work in country music for 2 years as a morning DJ, you start to hate the music that you're DJing because it's just in your ear 24/7.
What they call you there?
Cat Man in the morning.
Cat Man in the morning. Oh man! Speaking of cats, I had a Tiger Woods conversation. That's
the first I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Tiger Woods. Went well. I think he gained something from it. He probably gained more from it than I did in that moment. But that's what fulfills my heart
so
going forward.
So someone approached Tiger Woods and
Yeah.
said, in one hand, I have a dinner with Theo Dorsey. In the other hand, I have $45 million. He said, the knowledge that I can gain from a dinner, that long of a conversation with Theo Dorsey, I've got to take that option.
Give me a different number. 45 is too high. It's hard to turn down 45 million. If you today, if you walked up to Tiger Woods and said, I have $1 million in my right hand, I have a ticket, a free voucher to have a sit-down dinner, one-on-one, 2 straight hours with host of Theoretically Speaking, Theo Dorsey today. Same guy you had a conversation with last night. If you have those 2 options in your 2 hands, I think he would take the conversation dinner.
Listen, he had a taste of it. He wants more.
That's what I'm saying. He knows I made him laugh.
So it's like you went through the wedding process when you're trying out caterers and cakes. And wait a second, a whole cake of that?
Right.
I want Theo's cake.
Well, hold on.
That's exactly what he would say.
Absolutely not. Get around this next CCAT of Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Now at DQ Grill and Chill, enjoy $7 meal deals. The 3-piece chicken strip meal deal and the original cheeseburger meal deal. Both come with fries, a 21-ounce drink, and a sundae. Sweeten the deal and upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 extra. Get more for less at DQ Grill and Chill with the $7 chicken strip meal deal and $7 original cheeseburger meal deal. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
We have CCAT officially on a 3-minute mic ban. His mic has been muted. I talked to the higher-ups in the break. They said I am permitted to do that. The only problem is the get around is now, so we kind of have to flip it back on. So welcome back, CCAT.
It's like around the horn. When Tony Reality, I think that's not going anymore, but when it was going,
it's over now.
Reality would just give you a mute.
Yeah, you deserve a mute. You do deserve a mute. And I think Tiger Woods would agree with me. From our private conversations, I'm sure he's a guy that would agree with me.
That's what you've gathered from Tiger?
Yeah, in our conversation. It's not my first conversation I had with him last night either. It wouldn't be my first time winning big on Prize Picks if I jumped in and got in on the action today. You know, yesterday, as I started to make a move in Prize Picks and hit less on Jimmy Butler's stat projection that was set at 13.5 points, right as I was getting ready to do that, they said Jimmy was suspended. It was over.
Wait a second. Where's his? I can't select it.
It just disappeared right in front of my hands. Now, the good thing is that's how quickly Prize Picks will update player stat projections. If a guy gets pulled out, if a guy gets injured, if anything happens, if a guy gets suspended, that will not eliminate a lineup that you've already submitted. They'll just null and void that one, and it also won't live on there for you to add more lineups to it. It is very intuitive. It is very active. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. We play it all here on Theoretically Speaking. It's a lot of fun. You just hit more or less on 2 or more players' stat projections, and you have a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. So run your game all season long on Prize Picks here. We got one more football game. We still got all of basketball season. My buddy Micah, he wins huge on hockey all the time. He's always sending me his lineups. Dudes' names I can't even pronounce. I know damn well he can't even spell these dudes' names. He can't spell these dudes' names, but thankfully you don't have to spell them. You just scroll on Prize Picks and you select them.
I mean, that's how you get invested in some hockey.
Yeah.
Like regular season hockey leaves a lot to be desired. We all know that the playoffs are much more interesting, but once you involve Prize Picks, watching hockey every night.
You're just going through he'll send his Prize Picks winning lineups. Like he'll screenshot it, send it over. It's like 5 guys. And I'm like, how many consonants can they fit on this screen without a vowel? Like how is this even legal? This is not a name.
That's Russia, baby.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't even matter. And they are winning at an all-time rate for him on Prize Picks. Again, you just pick between 2 and 6 players. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits as well, right into your account this sports season. Use promo code THEOD. Use promo code THEOD. You can win a free $50 right on Prize Picks. It's at your fingertips. All right, C-Cats, time for us to get some motion going on this Tuesday. It's time to get around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Round and round. Check we go. I get around.
To get around today, we're taking a voyage all throughout the nation, but how about we start somewhere near and dear?
Next stop,
15 minutes north of us in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. We're going to the SoFi Center because TGL had a match last night where our very own Tiger Woods-led Jupiter Lynx beat Rory McIlroy and the Boston Commons Golf Club in overtime. The best match, no contest so far.
Yeah, and right after that match, I had a conversation with Tiger Woods about it. That went well. I will say this, too. Dude, like, if we could just get all overtime matches, like, I get it. They're not going to, rig the game. They're going to have true results here, and we earned an overtime match because Jupiter and Boston played each other so closely. More overtime matches somehow, please. That was epic.
And it's also guys getting used to the greens because putts were falling last night.
Oh, yeah.
And putts were not falling the previous 3 matches. Exactly. Tom Kim nailing putts, Tiger Woods.
Keegan hit one from like 35 plus out that just sent the crowd ablaze. Like the energy was there last night.
And we also have some missed chips or sand shots that didn't get out, so you get the crowd involved in that aspect where heckling and jeering is just as entertaining because then you have the players getting a little bit annoyed, taking it personal, and when they can a long putt, like we saw Tom Kim do, give it right back to him.
Tom Kim, that dude right there, that dude is perfect for TGL. We need more Tom Kims as well. That dude there he's elite, but he also has personality. He has pizzazz. He got the crowd going. He was showboating. Like, I like me some Tom Kim. He's 21.
He's 21 years old. He also was featured in the Netflix series Full Swing, which is taken off. They're going to go into their 3rd season coming out in March, right before the majors get going.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about Tom Kim. That's why people kind of knew him coming into this, and they'll get to know him much more now.
Was that the guy you told me was going to be the star of this thing? You told me somebody was going to be the star based off of Full Swing going into TGL.
I told you this team would be the star. Because of Kisner being entertaining, because Homa being funny, because Tiger being Tiger, and Tom Kim being hilarious too.
Apparently in that overtime, and this is what I asked Tiger Woods about, I'm like, didn't you want to go? Because he and Rory McIlroy were all 3rd. It's the closest to the pin overtime, and it's 3 players, right? So the first 2 went. The Jupiter Lynx won the first 2. If Kisner would have lost the second one, we would have gotten Tiger Woods versus Rory McIlroy for the winner-take-all closest to the pin. That's what everybody wanted. But Kisner actually won it, so Jupiter went 2-0. We didn't get to see that matchup. I asked Tiger about that. He said apparently he did not decide to let Kisner go ahead of him. Kisner just stole the show.
He said, give me the ball, coach.
Tiger, he said they locked eyes, and then Kisner was like, started to warm up, and Tiger was like, okay, I guess you're going?
Yeah, it's like a starter who's in the 8th inning, 2 outs, 2 on. The manager comes out and says, I'm not giving you the ball. Like, no, I'm staying in. No, thank you.
I didn't know you could do that to the owner of the league, Tiger Woods. That was crazy. So that was a ballsy move by Kisner.
Next stop.
We're going to Kansas City, Missouri.
That's the crib.
57.7 million people watched Bills Chiefs on Sunday. That's the second most watched non-Super Bowl football game in NFL history.
Crazy, man. And honestly, it deserved that. Number one, because, well, Eagles Commanders was such a snoozer by halftime that everybody was ready to tune in and change the channel. But also, we got the epic matchup. We got Mahomes with the ball in his hands to go and take the lead. We got Josh Allen with the ball in his hands to try and take the lead, but he got stifled. That was what you wanted. Both quarterbacks got a shot to win the game. One came out on top. And I'll say this, the Bills season's still a roaring success. Yeah, they didn't get through Mahomes. Yeah, they couldn't beat the Chiefs. But, like, expectations coming in, even if you thought they were really good, you thought they could reach the Super Bowl, you knew it was a tall ask. And they got damn close. Nobody should be hanging their heads around Buffalo. I feel bad when I watch those post-game pressers from Josh Allen.
Yeah, it's tough. He dropped a Ric Flair quote. You got to be the man, you got to beat the man, and they didn't beat the man.
And I don't know, like, it's safe to say I don't know if they ever will.
Come on.
All right.
Well, I guess beat the man, no, because injuries would indicate the Chiefs wouldn't be there, so they wouldn't have to beat that man in order to make it to the Super Bowl. I think I'm not closing the book.
I'm not saying I'm not closing the book either. It's just not a sure thing. Just like when Dan Campbell said to the Lions, we might not ever be back here. He was right. Just like when the Thunder made it to the NBA Finals with Harden, Westbrook, and KD, and everybody said, wow, for the next 8 years, the Thunder are going to be right. Never again. Like, that could have been the Bills' best chance to ever beat the Chiefs, and it might never go as good as it did this year. You don't know. They had the best turnover luck in 20 years, not for the Bills, but for any NFL team. The best turnover luck this season in 20 years. You telling me that that's not going to regress?
Yeah, but what would have gotten in the Bills' way other than the Chiefs? Because they beat the Ravens.
Are you serious? Are you asking that question right now?
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
What are you talking about? We know what's getting in the Bills' way, baby. It's a new era.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
It's over with.
Next stop.
Aaron Glenn.
We're making a U-turn. We're coming right back to South Florida. We're going to Miami. The 305. The Heat beat the Magic last night in double overtime. A thriller. 125, 119. Just a couple hours after suspending Jimmy Butler for the third time. This one's indefinite.
Yeah, Jimmy's never going to play in a Heat uniform again. He won't. He'll likely be traded before the deadline, which is February 6th. I don't know what the Heat get back for him at this point, but this is one of the ugliest divorces we've seen, especially like what we know right now is already bad, C-Cat. Imagine what we're going to learn a year from now, 2 years from now, even 3 weeks from now. This is an ugly divorce. And the way I look at it, the Heat culture is not taking a hit right here. If anything, Heat culture's only going to fortify itself around these wounds, almost like a scab. Because what I saw from the Heat last night in the Magic game, double overtime, Khalil Ware, lottery pick from last year, excuse me, not lottery technically, 15, 16 pick. That dude can ball as a 5 next to Bam Adebayo. Bam had one of the best nights of his career. Tyler Hero, 30 points, 12 dimes. Heat culture is only getting stronger as we kind of wake up from these wounds of the Jimmy Butler separation. The question is, what can you get back from this disgruntled superstar? And hopefully, whatever it is that you do get back, you get the kind of return that you got on those picks for Bam and Khalil Ware and stuff like. They have drafted really well. Nikola Jovic, if you look at that game last night, the Heat draft picks over the past 5 years performed so excellently. The future is bright. You just got to get something for Jimmy.
You know how, like, a boxer, one of their workout regimen is a kind of hang on a pull-up bar, and someone just punches their gut?
Yeah.
And, like, it looks really painful, but it's actually strengthening their core. The core of Heat culture is only getting stronger with the test that it's going through because it's passing.
We should start doing that here on Theoretically Speaking.
Just during the break, I hang behind you, and you just go to...
Yeah.
All right.
I would love to do that, actually, especially after what you said going into the last break. You deserve it.
Well, yeah, I was about to make another slip up and say, go to town. That was the verbiage I was going to use. Like,
get around this over. get around this over.
Come on.
Why must you be the way you are, C-Cat?
Listen, some people don't like the way I talk, but I'm not going to change for anybody. Never have, never will.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
The happy hour is next on Theoretically Speaking. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. Stick around, please.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Introducing the 2025 Land Rover Discovery Sport. Designed for those who crave adventure, style, and performance. And now it's more accessible than ever with 3.9% APR for 60 months. For well-qualified buyers, that means payments as low as $1,837 a month per $1,000 financed. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach located on Okeechobee Boulevard or head over to LandRoverPalmBeach.com today for more information on how you can take home the 2025 Land Rover Discovery Sport.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur. And most certainly, never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Thank you for calling the ESPN 1063 fan poll. Today's question: would you like to hear a new show weekdays at 4 p.m.? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You press 1 for yes. Tune into ESPN 1063 for Russo and Rizzo weekdays at 4. Thank you. Goodbye.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. This is, theoretically speaking, this is the happy hour. And boy, I should have asked C-Cat, I should have asked our guy Mike Tannenbaum how Shiloh Sanders looked in the Senior Bowl. I've been seeing him at practices. I'm watching some tape here now. Ooh. If Deion Sanders is able to get that kid drafted, like his name called in the NFL draft, that might be a greater accomplishment than what LeBron was able to do with Bronny.
Hey, Shiloh Sanders is a hard hitter, man. Oftentimes, it is not within the bounds of the rules in college football, but he hits pretty hard.
Is it really? It doesn't count. If you're hitting hard and there are penalties, it doesn't count as a hard hitter because it's literally a negative play.
Hey, there's
Anybody
enforcers
could do
in the NHL, and they hurt their team on the ice, but mentally, psychologically, it helps their team a little bit.
20 years ago, this guy would have been a star.
Yeah, we can take people's heads off.
Yeah, and again, I'm not here to bash a kid. He just cannot cover to save his life. It was apparent all of his years in college football. And it's getting exposed. Like, I wonder if he was one of those guys that would have benefited from not going to the Senior Bowl. Again, we're talking about Shiloh Sanders, the other Sanders son, Shador's older brother. Of course, Shador Sanders likely going to be a top 5 pick at quarterback. I don't know, man. Shiloh's kind of hurting his draft stock right now. Hopefully, Deion Sanders can fire up that promo push that he's been doing so well with all his kids, kind of like LeVar Ball. Like, I mean, come on.
Send out some more gift baskets to all the NFL GMs.
Yeah.
It was for Heisman voters to try to get Travis Hunter to the Heisman. He did it so successfully. Now he's got to do it to get his kid drafted high.
You got to, because he's going to need the help because, boy, I mean, I ain't going to lie. Like, I watched him cover one route, and I was like, I think I could do that. As open as Sam Brown got against him, Sam Brown, former Miami wide receiver, as open as he got against Shiloh Sanders, it kind of made me think, should I be at the Senior Bowl right now lacing him up?
I think you could run a route, couple of dry runs.
You saw me in the Boca Bowl.
Yeah, you've improved.
I've improved. My quarterback play improved.
All right.
Put the ball on the spot. Not to say Stone Labanowitz, great college football quarterback, won a college football playoff game. He's likely a better quarterback than Cade Shumslin, who threw me the ball this time. But what I will say is, Cade threw a better ball. He threw a catchable ball, and I went and got it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that, honestly, at your age, to not like pull a hamstring when trying to do something extremely athletic.
I am 31.
Hey,
I'm not a grandpa.
We've seen people try to relive the good old days, whether it be on the football field, the basketball court, and then find out immediately that their body is not on the same page as their head. That's how you find out you got a torn ACL as a 32-year-old professional.
I'm younger than Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen led the league in receptions damn near, not this past year, but the year before, at the age I'm at right now. I think I'm fine.
Well, you're not Keenan Allen. And simple, put 2 and 2 together, and I'm sure playing for the Chargers as long as he did might age him more than you, than being on a show with me.
So I'm saying he's much older. His body is older. The wear and tear on Keenan Allen's body is much worse than mine. So I'm not worried about my joints or my hamstrings.
You know who needs to take a lot less hits if he's going to play the quarterback position?
Oh,
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, man. Jalen Hurts. It hurts. It pains me to do this because this is my fellow Houston brother. Now, it also warms my spirit to do this as well because he gets so much love and praise. I was with my wife over the weekend. We were in Atlanta. And I won't out the person that said this to my wife and I when we were watching the Eagles-Commanders game because she said she gets in trouble when she commends the looks of Jalen Hurts with her significant other. But as my wife was saying something complimentary of Jalen Hurts and his appearance before the game kicked off, the young lady that was sitting with us watching the game said she's not allowed to comment on Jalen Hurts. He's so handsome that the thought of him being good looking it could be a detriment to her relationship.
It's like Voldemort, just can't say the name.
She's not allowed.
he's just banished from the household.
She's not allowed to utter the name Jalen Hurts.
We don't talk about him here.
Yeah. And it's not like her significant other is a fan of like an NFC East team. No, not even a rival. And he will not allow her to talk about Jalen Hurts. That's how much love he's getting these days. So me taking him down here on Theoretically Speaking, it's not going to do anything to damage the brand. But I do believe as we get ready for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, as we get ready to watch some Chiefs-Eagles, as we gear up for a game that is going to mean so much for legacies. I mean, this is the only game, honestly, that mattered for Patrick Mahomes' legacy this year. That's crazy to say, but this is the only one.
No, because if you've never had a three-peat before, then he is the first to do that.
Yeah.
That is adding to your legacy.
That's what I'm saying. This is the one.
Yes.
The AFC Championship game, as great as it was, as good as it was for the Chiefs to get by, their first time scoring more than 30 points this year, and it came in a game where they finally needed to. Yeah, it didn't really matter. Mahomes is solidified. He's good. An AFC Championship win does nothing for a guy's resume when you've been there every single year of your career. But to be able to get a three-peat, do something that's never been done before in the National Football League, the season starts now for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But also, the Eagles have a chance to almost uplift themselves into maybe even a more legendary, rarefied air than the Chiefs, because I do think that Hurts and the Eagles winning this Super Bowl might feel like one of the taller mountains climbed that any other team has done. To go from being a team that has not won it all under this quarterback, to go from being a team that is trotting out a second-round quarterback that gets questioned, that was called a running back for the majority of his career, a guy that got his job taken by Tua Tagovailoa in college. Like, one of the smartest football minds to have ever lived looked at him and looked at Tua and said, I'll take that guy, the lefty. Jalen Hurts has a shot to dethrone the Chiefs, a shot to beat Patrick Mahomes head-to-head in a Super Bowl, not only stopping the three-peat that apparently all of America is against. Like, everybody hates the Chiefs now. I'm cool with that as a Chiefs fan. It doesn't bother me. It's just a little weird. But he has a chance to be the savior for America. He has people rooting for the Eagles, right?
And, hey, they have a slogan. They have a song, No One Likes Us, We Don't Care. We're from Philly, freaking Philly. No one likes us, we don't care.
Is that
but
the
people
song?
are rooting for them,
I
yeah.
thought what's the song that the mayor was singing, though? The song for the Eagles, the mayor said it was because they do their Fly Eagles Fly. Oh, yeah, it's prefaced by when they chant out the spelling of the Eagles' name. And the mayor of Philadelphia, she got the rally cry going before the NFC Championship ever kicked off. What's their song? What's their song?
Well, I'm going to give me 30 seconds to find the audio from it, but it's spelling out the name of the team.
Right. So you find that, and as you find that, I'll tell you this. Jalen Hurts, as spectacular of a Sunday he can have on Super Bowl Sunday, if he's able to dethrone the Chiefs, I do believe ego specifically can be the biggest crutch to the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the ego-less Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs. We've already seen it flare up before this season kicked off. We've already seen at multiple points throughout this year specifically there being clashes of personalities. As Jalen Hurts, his personality, he's like a stick in the mud. He doesn't really give you much. But he also seems to wear on his teammates like A.J. Brown, who would rather read a book than to join up with the offensive huddle. Like Nick Sirianni, who apparently cannot get along with his franchise quarterback, not even before the season, but during it, because following a win, Jalen Hurts is saying, dude, finally let me out of my straitjacket. Like, that's crazy to me. But before I get into ripping the Eagles, let's give them some love. Here's the mayor. Here's the mayor of Philadelphia giving us the chant.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-L-E-S.
Eagles! This team, this fortified team, can only be penetrated by one thing, one negative thing, and that is ego of Jalen Hurts. He is talking about his head coach following an NFC Championship game as if Nick Sirianni was the problem and not the solution. He was asked after they whooped up on the Commanders by like 30 points at home if Nick Sirianni is doing a good job, and this is what Hurts says.
He's done a great job. He's done a great job.
How?
I guess he let me on my straitjacket a little bit today. I don't play the game for stats. I don't play the game for numbers.
That was one of the most contradictory responses to a question I can actually recall. How good of a job did he do? He did a great job. First part of the question. Okay, that's a good answer. Secondly, he then says he finally let me out of my straitjacket. So his ability to do a good job was actually by getting out of your way, quote unquote, let Russ cook.
At long last.
Yeah.
Finally let me out of the straitjacket.
Finally let me out of my straitjacket. Okay, so his great job was doing less. He's doing less with more. Okay. Then afterwards he says, I don't play the game for stats. Where did that even come from? What are you talking about?
No one said that. Wait a second. Where's that coming from, Jalen?
Well, you're the only one that brought it up. You said he let you out of your straitjacket, which apparently I'm guessing would mean that he let you sling the ball around the field a little bit more, play more freely, get more stats. So now you're bringing up stats voluntarily, and then to cap it all off, you don't play for stats. So again, the Eagles right now are being marketed as Saquon Barkley's team, and this dude just trotted in here this past offseason. Who's the guy that everybody's parading about, other teams are scared of, that is being an MVP candidate, an MVP finalist? Did you know that for the Eagles right now, the shortest odds to win MVP in the Super Bowl is not their quarterback?
That rarely, if ever, happens.
Like the guy that gets to touch the ball every single snap?
It's a quarterback award. It's either Cooper Kupp, Malcolm Smith with the Seahawks, or the quarterback.
It's a quarterback's award. You don't have to ask or do a survey to figure out who's the shortest odds to win the Super Bowl MVP for the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. This Super Bowl 59, is being pitched as Mahomes versus Saquon Barkley more than it is being pitched as Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. And I fear, on behalf of Philadelphia Eagles fans, this, especially with it being a game with 2 weeks of lead up. We're just in the beginning stages of this. We're 2 days in. Get ready for 2 straight weeks of people propping up the running back, of people talking about how transformative Saquon Barkley has been to the trajectory of the Eagles, and then you run the risk of Jalen Hurts feeling like he's got to prove himself. Jalen Hurts, he's feeling himself already. Remember the game, C-Cat, where right afterwards he got the big jewelry. Everybody talks about the diamonds that were just dancing all over his neck. By the way, immaculate necklace. My Houston brother, big shout to you. Look great. People forget what he said. He sat down. His first words in front of that mic was not about the team win, not the typical, rhetoric, coach speak stuff you get from Jalen Hurts. He said, this what y'all want? This what y'all been asking for, right? Y'all satisfied now? Like, his ego is starting to build. That's all I'm saying. This was a guy that went from being egoless when he was a Alabama Roll Tide. Oh, yeah, Tua, go ahead. Do your thing. All love. This character arc for Jalen Hurts is building in a way that I don't think you can reel back in. Since he was the egoless, I want to make sure y'all egoless. No ego. Since he was that guy at Alabama, ever since then, his brand has been building, right? He comes into the league as a second-round pick. He gets it out the mud. He bumps Carson Wentz up out the way. He becomes a franchise quarterback for the Eagles. He brings the Eagles to a Super Bowl. He finishes second in the MVP race to none other than Patrick Mahomes. He was one fumble away from winning a Super Bowl against the great one, Patrick Mahomes. If you don't think all of that, built in with the fact that he's now the biggest ladies' man on this planet, is getting to this dude's head, you must think he's the most benevolent human being to ever walk the face of this planet. This is not a criticism of Jalen Hurts. This is me giving you the foresight of what I see happening. The biggest detriment that can happen to the Eagles against the Chiefs this Super Bowl is Jalen Hurts feeling like he's got to prove himself. We've seen it happen time and time again in professional sports. What did I talk about all throughout Jason Tatum's run with the Celtics? This dude cares about the finals MVP. This dude is gunning for it. At the end of the fourth quarter of game 1 against the Mavericks, when it was all sealed up, Jaylen Brown is on the bench getting some rest. Champion Drew Holiday's on the bench chilling with the coach. Jason Tatum's still out there chucking up corner threes. All I'm saying is Jalen Hurts was the reason the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl last time, 2 years ago against the Chiefs. He was the reason they had a chance to win. He was this close to a Super Bowl victory and a Super Bowl MVP, and he had the one play that everybody points to as the reason the Eagles didn't win, the fumble.
Of course.
That was it. That was the game changer.
Unforced fumble.
An unforced fumble by Jalen Hurts is what allowed the Chiefs to regain control of that game. They felt like an unstoppable force. And now for the next 2 weeks, that guy who's ready to get that monkey off of his back, who's ready to exercise those demons, gets a shot at Patrick Mahomes, but for 2 straight weeks, this newfound ego-full Jalen Hurts is going to have to hear about how great Saquon Barkley is. That is going to be the biggest issue for the Eagles going forward, and I surely hope it isn't, because I like the brother. He's a Houston brother. Jalen Hurts, stay out of your own way. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. That's the number for the Theoretically Speaking Baptist Health Hotline. Tap in with us here. Do you feel like ego is going to be the biggest detriment to the Eagles like I do? I believe the smart money is saying yeah. And that's why I'm going with the Chiefs on this one, obviously. On the phone lines now, we have our guy Noah Carbone, noted Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm sure he's excited that I am bringing up the fact that his Eagles are back in the Super Bowl. And he has no problems when we're talking about Hurts' ego, right?
I don't even know where to start. I could go on about this thing forever.
Talk to me.
So, all right, let's cut to the chase real quick, and we'll get a couple key points in. That straitjacket comment was a tongue-in-cheek. It was fully when he says sits in front of the media and says, "Oh, this is what you want to see." Again, he's poking fun at the media.
Okay.
Maybe, just maybe, let's ask this question. Maybe he really does care, and the team does care more about winning than personal achievements. Maybe he does. And this sits close with me. I once had the pleasure of having one of your top 3 ESPN players, Phoenix Stangia, on my team as a running back in youth football. And that kid was a monster and still is to this day. And I ran him about 17 times off right tackle, and nobody could stop it. And the other coach on the other side of the field is yelling at me, "Oh, you keep running the same play, you keep running the same play." The goal was to win that game, and we had to win that game. And I leaned on my best player and did what was best for the team as a whole, which was running Phoenix and scoring touchdowns. And we won that day. Maybe, just maybe, it could be such a thing that a professional athlete, after he already has his contract, he's already paid. He's not playing for a contract. He's going to get paid. Maybe he just wants to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right, so I'm not arguing against the fact that the number one priority for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles is the Super Bowl, but I do believe, especially after 2 weeks of hearing how Saquon Barkley is the difference between this Eagles team and the one that couldn't get over the hump last time, it is natural for me to believe that it's going to creep into his mind that he wants to get some of the glory. He wants to be the reason. He's the franchise quarterback.
When he got benched in college, he stood by Tua and watched that whole thing unfold.
No, that was a long time ago. That was almost a decade ago in football years for Jalen Hurts. He's a new dude now. Look at the jewelry around his neck.
Soul. He's an old soul. He's a consummate professional. He says everything right every single time. He's not going to be lifting weights on his drive in his driveway like Terrell Owens was the one year. It's not going to happen. He's going to say the right things, and he wants to keep the main thing, and he said that all along. And I believe he's a lot like me. He cares less if Saquon runs off tackle 17 times in a row when they win the Super Bowl. That's what he's grading his success on. And I don't know when we ever got away from in the NFL or anything sport related or contest related when the ultimate thing wasn't the final result of win or loss. And maybe Jalen just still believes that winning everything, no matter how you do it or who contributes or who's the hero, is the end result everybody wants.
It is. I agree. And I appreciate the call, Noah. It is. You are spot on that I still believe Jalen Hurts is a winner first. I'm just saying I'm seeing a lot more of the me version of Jalen Hurts creep up. And this next 2 weeks with all of the media and all of the interviews and all of the idiots like me making points on sports talk radio shows, it's going to creep into his mind. And if he plays outside of his body at all, if he tries to be something that he's not, if instead of taking the methodical approach and handing it off on that RPO to the guy that can probably get you 10, 15 yards, he keeps it. tries to turn that corner, bend that corner, and here comes George Karlaftis knocking the ball out of his hands. Another fumble again, and what do you know? The Chiefs become victorious. I'm going to bring you back to this moment on this Tuesday, January 28th, when I told you ego could be the thing that gets in the way of your egos. It can. It can infiltrate, and we've seen it happen in so many other sports, in so many other ways. Jalen Hurts is not impervious to letting ego distract him. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline. That's a great call by Noah. It's a great call. He's defending his guys. I just don't know, man. I'm already seeing A.J. Brown acting out. We got Don. Don is on line 2. Don is on Theoretically Speaking. Don, how you doing on this Tasty Tuesday, man?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited. I just watched the Chiefs get over the hump. You know, everybody said they couldn't beat the Bills. I'm excited to watch my favorite team do what I always believed they could do. Are you an Eagles fan, Don?
I'm not necessarily an Eagles fan. I'm a Giants fan, so I'm supporting Saquon, but I'm a Jalen Hurts fan too. And Jalen Hurts has no ego. You're talking about an ego. Noah just said that when Tua took over at halftime and won the game, Jalen Hurts was right there.
Okay.
He didn't get upset. He didn't pout. He didn't go anywhere.
Okay, I have a question.
Then the next year,
right quick, Don. Pump the brakes, though. I appreciate y'all bringing up this thing from college. Are you the same man you was in college? Things change.
I am the same man. My personality is the same. Have I got more educated? Sure. Has my body shape changed? Yes. But physically, mentally, he's the same guy.
Okay. All right.
He's the same guy.
He had an $80 million chain around his neck. I didn't see that in college, but yeah, continue. I got you.
Yeah, but that's the part of the change that is, monetarily related, things like that. You're going to get a bigger house. You're going to get a nicer car most times.
Those things change you.
But as a football player, I think he just wants to win. I agree with Noah. Tongue in cheek. Yeah, I got the straitjacket off. Yeah, that's tongue in cheek, you guys, media, for the next 2 weeks, are going to pick and choose little things and make it this way and steer the narrative that way to whichever way you want to do it.
Don, I want to be clear. I'm sowing dissension not as the media. I'm sowing dissension as a Chiefs fan, damn it. Give me my credit. I'm trying to tear this thing down from inside the walls as a guy that wants to see Mahomes get the three-peat. I appreciate the call, Don. You're right. I actually want to be altruistic like the rest of the Eagles fans, like Don, like Noah. I want to believe that Jalen Hurts is an egoless star. I want to believe that he's not going to let his own self-interest get in the way. But I've seen it time and time again in sports, and I also am seeing it rear its ugly head right now. You can try and excuse away the fact that A.J. Brown was reading a book on the sideline in the middle of a playoff game and say, oh, he's just a little quirky. He just likes doing that. And then Jalen Hurts responding and saying, I ain't never seen him read. You can excuse away the offseason reports that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts don't have a good relationship. And you can also continue to excuse things that Jalen Hurts are saying in the media about his coach doing a good job, but he doesn't care about stats, but he finally let him play and have a good time. What did we learn about the let Russ cook stuff after Russ was free from Pete Carroll? That was a direct attack on how he felt Carroll was actually holding him back from playing his best ball. We took it tongue-in-cheek, right? We celebrated it. We laughed. We talked about it. Hashtag let Russ cook. No, there were actual problems right there. Why do we not believe that these are problems right here? How much smoke has to come before we say, hey, there might be some fire over there?
And everybody knows that winning smooths a lot of corners, and winning makes a lot of things that might be problems just kind of fade away. And we can all admit the Eagles have not been challenged in the NFC this year. Their one biggest challenge never came to fruition. The Lions didn't make it past the Commanders. I think it's fair to say the Lions had a bad day, and Lions-Eagles will be a much closer game than what we saw on Sunday between the Commanders and Eagles. When you face adversity, which there's no doubt about it, the Eagles are going to face adversity come Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see true colors show, and where the smoke is, you might see some things flame up.
Exactly. You're telling me that after all we've seen, imagine Hurts misses A.J. Brown on a deep route. right? Imagine any little thing like that sparks up and they go over to the sideline and they're down by 3 in the second half against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and we see a conversation between them two and it gets heated. Eagles fans going to be like, oh, no, I mean, no problems here. They're just they were talking about dinner. They were discussing their book club that they're going to get on later on. No. We're watching it all happen with y'all. Y'all acting like we're insane or we're sowing dissension purposely. Like, I'm not reporting on things or talking about stuff that isn't in our clear sights. Phil's in Boynton. Phil, you're on Theoretically Speaking here on a Tasty Tuesday, Phil. Are you an Eagles fan, Phil, or are you going to be defending him, Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, with all of your sanity as well?
Nah, the only reason I'm partial, but I'm not a real Eagle fan. But I'd like to see them win, be honest with you, because I'm just, with all the commotions keep going on, it's going to get worse. But my question to you is a three-peat more powerful at this time than the Dolphins going undefeated that year for the first time? Anybody doing it? How does that weigh?
Yes, a three-peat by the Chiefs will be like 2 times as much to me. More, it's tougher to achieve. It would be incredibly harder to achieve. Damn it, the Chiefs almost did what the Dolphins did this year. They were 1 game away from doing so. So nothing, not to take away from the Dolphins' undefeated season, but I do think the Chiefs three-peat would be a bigger accomplishment.
Oh, okay. Now my question to you, Theo, is two of your favorite teams out of your 30 are playing. Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs here, and I appreciate it. Well, since when have the Eagles been my favorite team, Phil?
I know you're really waving the flag for the Eagles.
What? Phil's gone?
Phil's gone.
The hell? Why does everybody always try to do this to me? They're trying to steal my joy. All right? I chose the Chiefs in my fan free agency. I chose the place that I was born at to be my favorite squad. It's not my fault that they've won 2 Super Bowls and are now on the way to the first three-peat in the history of the NFL ever since I jumped on board the Chiefs Kingdom. All right?
I do think that there is a merit to a three-peat being done. Is that more impressive than what the Patriots did in totality?
Yes.
Really?
It is.
So if you were just playing God and you were looking at your favorite team, you would rather sign this paper and all of a sudden you get 3 Super Bowls in a row, maybe get 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. You would sign up for that rather than the 6 Super Bowls across 2 decades with the Patriots.
Yeah, 4 out of 6 and 3 in a row is more impressive, and I would sign up for that before I sign up for the 6 over the span of the 2 decades. And the real reason why is because this sport, the NFL, is set up for so much parity. It's set up so strongly against you being able to just repeat, let alone get back to the Super Bowl and do it a 3rd straight time, that's the kind of history that feels like might never get repeated. What the Patriots did, you can repeat that. In fact, the Chiefs are well on their way to repeating that right now, and they might do it in a shorter amount of time. The funniest thing about this whole three-peat thing and the 4 out of 6 thing for the Chiefs right now is that, like, we might be in the middle of a more impressive run. It's 2025 right now. At 2030, what are we going to be saying? Because it's not like we feel like the Chiefs are slowing down anytime soon. The AFC is strong as hell, but it's been strong in the middle of this three-peat. Excuse me, let me not call it a three-peat yet. Still 1 more game to go. Hey, job's not finished. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. On the other side, we grade the NFL playoff teams that have been dropped from contention. That includes the lowly Buffalo Bills. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift with endless possibilities. Give a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach. Breakers gift cards let you treat the one who matters most to the things they love the most, like irresistible oceanfront getaways, lessons at the Breakers' new golf and racket club, pampering at the exquisite spa, and shopping at the resort's stylish collection of on- and off-site boutiques. Gift cards may also be used for dining at the Breakers' renowned restaurants and bars, including Echo, Henry's Palm Beach, HMF, and Flagler's Steakhouse. What's even better, for a limited time, when you purchase a $500 gift card online at thebreakers.com, you'll receive an additional $50 on that card, compliments of the Breakers. This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach and remind them why they fell in love with you in the first place. Visit thebreakers.com today.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Introducing the 2025 Land Rover Discovery Sport. Designed for those who crave adventure, style, and performance. And now it's more accessible than ever with 3.9% APR for 60 months. For well-qualified buyers, that means payments as low as $1,837 a month per $1,000 financed. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach located on Okeechobee Boulevard or head over to LandRoverPalmBeach.com today for more information on how you can take home the 2025 Land Rover Discovery Sport.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Let me hear you all say E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Now, while Saquon Barkley, his play is going to matter more in the end, like if he has an excellent day, that can be the more detrimental thing for the Chiefs and a more helpful thing for the Eagles.
Saquon Barkley.
Shayshawn, as they call him in Washington, D.C. I do believe Jalen Hurts still is not the MVP of this team, but like his performance kind of matters the most because he's the one that can play them out of the game. Saquon can – I keep hearing people say that Saquon can have a bad game and the Eagles – or excuse me, that Jalen Hurts can have a bad game and the Eagles can still win because of Saquon Barkley. I actually think the opposite. If Jalen Hurts has a bad game, that's going to be what opens the door for the Chiefs to win. If Barkley has a bad game, there is still opportunity, right? Like, Hurts is the one that can throw them out of it, not Barkley. You get what I'm trying to say there? It's convoluted.
It's difficult.
Still a
'cause,
quarterback.
It's almost one of those, he can lose you a game, but he can't win you a game.
That's what I feel. I don't think Hurts wins the Eagles the Super Bowl coming up here, but he certainly can lose it for them. Whereas Saquon Barkley can have a great day and lose, he can have a great day and win, he can have a terrible day and lose, and vice versa. So it's just something to think about. Something to think about as we're getting into these MVP odds for Super Bowl 59. Hey, Culligan, man. It's not always possible to actually see contaminated water, coming out of your faucet, right? But taste is difficult to ignore, C-Cat. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals that are now in the water? The team at Culligan understands this, and they're actually going to help remove this from your water. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems. I'm in talks with Culligan right now to get one in my home because they showed me the difference between what my water is and what your water actually should taste like and look like. And boy, will I tell you, that changed everything. I'm afraid to take a shower these days until they come back and then install my softener.
Well, this area, South Florida, you got to check your water.
Yeah, you have to. And the good thing about it is water testing is actually free through Culligan. They've been helping the local community out here since 1936. So get yourself a free water test today at Culligan.com. Just say, hey, Culligan man. Well, you actually have to go to Culligan.com, but saying, hey, Culligan man can make you feel better about the experience as well.
Maybe when they knock on the door, you open up and say, hey, Culligan man.
Actually, do that for sure. Go on Culligan.com. Schedule your free water testing so you can see if you need to improve your drinking water, if you need to install a water softener, because you will be surprised the chemicals and the potentially cancerous stuff that just lives in the water out here in Florida. Like, I'm from Texas. I ain't know it got down like that out here. I'm a homeowner out here for the past 4 years. Did not realize what was in my water. I learned, and now Culligan's going to hook it up. Culligan.com. Hey, Culligan man. So when they knock, that's the problem, is the inflection of the hey Culligan man.
You swing the door open quickly, and then with one hand you're holding the door, and your other hand you stretch it outside. Hey Culligan man.
Hey Culligan man.
Actually, Culligan's got a good thing going, because if you are aware of how bad the water is and you've taken action, as in buying bottled water and stuff, very cost effective to not have to go to the store, pick up the water, put it on your back inside. You save money and it's more convenient.
They got a great thing cooking, and they also have a great slogan. Hey, Culligan, man. So I'll work on that. What would you grade my Hey, Culligan, man?
I think we're getting there. Your Hey, Culligan man's at a 6.5.
Okay.
And I'm being a little bit generous because I like you.
Thank you. That was the first time you ever said you like me. Monumental day here on Theoretically Speaking.
What are we grading today, Theo?
Today, we are grading for the midday midterms NFL teams that were eliminated from the playoffs. I remembered that. If you saw on the Prize Picks YouTube stream, you can see my face. I didn't remember that on the radio. It just seemed like I was giving a dramatic pause.
All right. First up, grade the season of the Washington Commanders.
This is an easy one. This is an A+. You're telling me you got yourself a new head coach, and with the second overall pick, you draft the second best quote-unquote quarterback out of college in Jaden Daniels, and not only do you make the NFC Championship game, but you also feel like the future of your franchise is in your locker room in Jaden Daniels. They've got the third most cap space going into the offseason. They are ahead of schedule. They overperformed. They knocked out the 1 seed on the road. This is an A++, and that's coming off of a loss.
Grade the season of who the Washington Commanders knocked out of the playoffs. That 1 seed, the Detroit Lions.
Lions get a C-.
Whoa.
Yeah. I got to be honest. It is a C- year for the Lions, and it's not only based on what the outcome was, which they didn't even return to the NFC title game, let alone win it. They also lose both coordinators that have helped get them there, so it feels like a wasted season. All of those regular season wins, all of those fun Ben Johnson plays, Goff throwing it around for perfect games left and right, none of that meant crap. That is the issue with success in the National Football League or in professional sports in general. Once you raise that bar of expectations, anything below that is failure. They're lucky to get a C-. I don't give a damn about injuries.
If you told a Lions fan that they were going to finish the regular season 15-2, the 49ers were not in the playoffs, they probably were booking tickets to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
This is a failure. A C- might actually, and it sounds crazy to say after a team wins 15 games and gets the 1 seed, a C- might be generous for me because I know what the goals were inside of that locker room. I know what Dan Campbell wanted out of that team, and they didn't even get back to the stage that they got to last year. Regular season wins don't mean crap to me when your goal is the Super Bowl and they didn't get there. Not even close.
All right, grade the Baltimore Ravens season for me, Theo.
Similar to the Lions, this is a team that wanted to be in the Super Bowl and didn't even make it to the AFC Championship game. The Ravens this year, I got to go C-. Likewise, lockstep. And here's the problem. It was going to be a failure on behalf of either the Ravens or the Bills, so it gets hard, right? Because one of them had to lose because they played each other. The Ravens, though, they're not getting the benefit of the doubt because y'all walked your way through a lot of regular season games that could have gotten you home field advantage. That's where the C- comes in. It's not even about losing that divisional round game on the road against the Bills. It's not even about Mark Andrews having one of the worst drops in the history of the postseason. You guys screwed yourself when you weren't able to win enough regular season. You're losing to teams like the Raiders? Nah, C-.
Yeah, the season just had no fulfillment. You left unsatisfied.
Bad regular season, bad playoffs.
When was the signature Ravens win this year? Was it against the Bills in the regular season? That's pretty much all I can think about. That's where they blew them out of the water. And
the Bengals win. But the Bengals weren't even a playoff team. That was a bad year for the Ravens, man. I can't lie.
Grade the Buffalo Bills season, Theo.
Bills get an A. The Bills get an A. I bordered on giving them an A+. They were one possession away from taking down the Kansas City Chiefs, but they went up against a better team with a better quarterback. I can't knock you for losing that game on the road. What I can appreciate is you come into the year, finally a full season of Joe Brady. Josh Allen has his best season ever. No turnovers really this year. They had the least turnovers or the best turnover differential in the history of the league for the past 25 years. Convoluted way to deliver that stats, but you get it. Great season for the Bills. Damn it, I'll say it. A+ for the Bills.
Well, you can't say A+.
A+ for the Bills.
No, an A+ means that you met your goal. The Bills did not meet their goal. Their goal was to make the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl. The Bills did not get that.
Guess what? That's their ceiling. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs got that locked up. I'm not going to grade. I'm grading on a curve. Just like you said, Josh Allen had a 92. If he had a 92 grade performance in the AFC Championship game, the Bills had an A+ season.
But you can't treat the NFL like it's Nathan's hot dog eating contest where when Joey Chestnut's competing and he's in his prime, it's all a race for second.
You did. You said Josh Allen had a 92, an A- game against the Chiefs, which he clearly did not. I'm just doing what you did. A+ for the Bills. They'll never beat the Chiefs.
They will. It'll happen one day.
You hope.
It's happened 4 times all regular season, but it'll happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we got.
That was fun.
Class is not in session anymore. What do they say at the end? Class dismissed. There we go.
Yeah, you get an F for that dismount.
How do you like them apples?
On the other side of the happy hour, we give you the last call. Some positive words on the way out the door. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
In South Florida, when it's time to get back in the game, there's a name you need to know. HSS Florida. HSS ranked #1 in orthopedics for 15 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. HSS brings world-class care to Palm Beach and Wellington. Whether it's a joint replacement, sports injury, or orthopedic trauma, HSS Florida treats athletes of all ages. Visit hss.edu/Florida to schedule your consultation today. HSS Florida, where champions and everyday people alike get the care they need to stay at the top of their game.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
The all-new 2025 Land Rover Defender 130. Designed for adventure, built for luxury. With seating for up to 8 and power for any terrain, it's ready to take you further. Now with financing as low as 3.9% APR for 48 months. That's just $22.53 a month per $1,000 financed. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today or go to LandRoverPalmBeach.com to start your adventure in the 2025 Defender 130.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
March of 2017, Bam Adebayo, current Heat superstar, and De'Aaron Fox, current Sacramento Kings superstar, both sat in a locker room, arm over each other's shoulder, bawling tears of despair because their Kentucky Wildcats had just got bounced in the Elite Eight at the hands of the better team that night. Now, 8 years later from that Elite Eight loss, De'Aaron Fox is officially available on the trade market. The Sacramento Kings are about to deal Fox, and there's a chance these two can be reunited, and it would feel so good if that was happening at Kaseya Center. The Miami Heat, we finally have our answer, the solution to all of our problems. Jimmy Butler for De'Aaron Fox. I don't care what else you got to throw in around it. I don't care what else you got to do. If you're Pat Riley, if you're the Heat brass, you got to get this deal done. Here's the report from Shams Charania from ESPN. This just in. Sacramento Kings are expected to open up talks to potentially deal all-star De'Aaron Fox ahead of the February 6th trade deadline. Sources tell ESPN. There will be plenty of suitors, but here's the key phrase, key line in the Shams tweet. It's believed that Fox has a target destination in mind ahead of the 2026 free agency. Excuse me. C-Cat, I've been calling for this for the past 2 months.
You haven't mentioned any other name than De'Aaron Fox.
That's all I want. It's not just because he's from Houston. That's my Houston homie. It's not just because he's one of the most prolific all-star guards. He has that chemistry and camaraderie with Bam Adebayo. They are still good friends. He would be the perfect heir apparent. It would be, again, I'm not making comparisons. It would be Wade-esque, the kind of impact that dude can have if we bring him in right now and he lives out his prime for Eric Spoelstra. He's 27 years old. All right, this is a guy that can give you 30 and 10 any night. One of the fastest kids, fastest guards in the league. Would love to see this happen. Get the trade done. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can